All right, welcome. This is Christopher Moyer coming to you from Denver, Colorado, and I am live with Nick Eng, the founding editor of Massage and Fitness Magazine, who's coming to us from Victoria, British Columbia today. How are you, Nick?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you. How you doing, Chris?
I'm good. Thanks for joining us. This is just an impromptu conversation I wanted to have about your project, Massage and Fitness Magazine. So why don't we just jump right into it?
Sweet. Let's go. What you got?
So, what inspired you to create Massage and Fitness Magazine? And by the way, let me just say right now, for the benefit of people who don't know about it, the website associated with this magazine is Massage Fitness Mag. That's all one word, massagefitnessmag.com. And so you can go there to get more information and potentially to subscribe. Nick, what was your inspiration for creating this project?
Well, it was pretty much a very quick decision. It wasn't like, I've been spending 5 or 10 years ruminating about whether I want to start a magazine or not. It was just like on the spot. Oh, just start something. I mean, I started something online back in late 2014 on an online discussion where somebody posted a picture of one of the current U.S. Magazines that looked at working with U.S. veterans with PTSD and clinical depression. And one of the stories is about some kind of energy or faith healing on that stuff. And it showed like some kind of chakra alignment on one U.S. soldier as a model. And that stoked some veterans who are also on that forum, because it was kind of like a slap to the face to the U.S. military. It's like, wait, why are you putting this nonsense to people with PTSD who are suffering from a real mental illness? And so with all this crap fling around on the internet that day, I read it. I gave myself a big ass face palm and I said, you know what? No one's doing anything about it. Why don't we just create something that is grounded in science and reality that some people actually might enjoy reading, something that is actually based on better evidence than something that's based on nonsense. So in less than a month, I found a web platform that I could design a virtual magazine. And the platform is very similar to what I used to do when I was a journalist and production designer back in college. And the layout's very easy to learn for me, and I just learned it in less than a month, and I just started to play with it. And I created the first issue, which was free, but in 3 months later, in March of 2015. So that's how it sprouted.
And how many issues have you released?
Wow, it'll be the 12th one. The last issue came out about a few days ago, and it was about the hashtag #MeToo movement in relation to massage therapy, and that will be my 12th issue.
Nice, 12 issues is pretty good. You're rolling along.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it wasn't easy. It was just something that I think it needs to be done.
Nice. Who are some of the contributors?
Well, currently or the past, or just doesn't matter.
Just who have some of the contributors been?
Well, some of the contributors right now we have are, wow, I don't think I could have done it without them at all. It just could not be possible as a one-person band. I would give a lot of thanks to Dr. Raven Sarah Trevelyan, who's been with us since the very beginning. Her story is really rational. She's really has a lot of good stories to tell regarding from massage education, how it could be improved, all the way to just why we actually feel good being touched. And she has all kinds of little details to back it up. Also, other people include recently joined for about a year, Mrs. Erin Jackson, who is a healthcare attorney in Chicago, Illinois. And she has a very knowledgeable about different types of laws regarding healthcare that even massage therapists should know about. So that's what I was very thankful for that, as well as other like Alice Sanvito, who else was there as well? Tanya Velasquez from New York City, and also Dr. Sandy Hilton entropy physical therapist as well. And there's a bunch of other people too, massage educators, both from the massage and the physio side, who are contributors as well. So I really thank
Laura Allen's written for you too, right? I know she's been in there.
Who? I'm sorry?
Laura Allen has also written for you, I think.
Laura Allen, yeah, she did. Recently about the ethics and reality. She wrote a very good piece on it. It's really to kind of it's like breathing fresh air in the Canadian wilderness.
So you've used the word reality twice now. How crazy is it that it is a radical thing to have a magazine about massage that's based in reality? Why is that? It
is. I don't know. I feel like I need to smoke a couple of joints in order to answer the question right now. I don't really know exactly. But what I do know is that when I go online and I do enjoy reading the debate speech among like fitness trainers and physios and even a few chiros and osteopaths as well, at least their arguments, most of them, are grounded in reality. You know, we're talking about posture and pain. We're talking about biomechanics. We're talking about diseases and, manual therapy, treating skin. Even to some degree, like, they're talking about like bone setting and stuff. At least the bone is real,
Right.
The bones and joints are real.
So even when the theory, in these other fields, more often than not, when theories are maybe outdated or ones that you are in doubt about their veracity, they're not grounded in magic. They're at least based in reality and possibility.
Yes.
And yet
they develop.
Right. But in massage, you pick up one of the newsstand magazines about massage, and inevitably there's one or more articles in there that just, belong in a magazine about tarot cards or astrology or something. I mean,
I feel like I have no idea. I feel like I'm reading a religious magazine, I don't know what it is really. That's what I found out when I got into the field, and that really baffled me for a few years. I don't know about how other countries. Do other countries have the same thing as well? Do Anglophone countries have a similar type of culture and beliefs as other countries that speak other languages, like in East Asia or South Asia, or maybe somewhere in Latin America, for instance? So I don't really know. These are topics I actually would be happy to take a look, and why people believe why massage therapy tends to attract that kind of mindset. In fact, go ahead.
Well, I've had some conversations with people about that over the years, and I certainly don't feel like I have the answer to it or have a lot of expertise in it. But I mean, the thing that's been communicated to me is that it goes back to the the 60s and 70s, and in America, God, there's a phrase I'm not hitting, but on like sort of a movement around personal empowerment and anything goes, and your ideas are as good as mine. The kind of ethos that you had at like Esalen in Northern California.
Yes.
Right. So, you had people, go ahead.
Yeah, I just kind of read some of these recently, entitlement, as well as a movement toward what some people call it the exotic other. Like, it's been around. The exotic other is like Orientalism. It's been around for like centuries.
Okay, so you're talking about other countries now. I was sort of talking about like why this background started in America, but go on.
Beats me, man. That's something that is kind of what I've been reading about entitlement. That kind of movement you talked about in the 60s and 70s that led to the culture we have today in the U.S. So I'm not an expert in it, and this is something I would like to explore a little more and see if there's any ties to it. But so far, from what I've been reading so far, there seemed to be a connection with the when Nixon administration and China back in 72, they opened up that open door policy that allowed more free trade in China at the time. That opened up a floodgate of exposure of what the Far East was like to the West. And therefore you may have some degree of higher romanticism of the Far East, and that led to a lot of movements, like cultural movements in the U.S. and maybe even Canada, that influenced the way people think and somehow massage therapy, was tend to attract this type of thinking.
Yeah.
And I was one of those. I used to think like that too for a few years until I realized that this is most of it's baloney. It's like I don't really want to be part of this anymore. I thought I liked kind of more of a rational explanation based on reality. And I embrace the fact that I don't know what I don't. That I and I do embrace the uncertainty behind what we don't know. And that's the fun part of it. And this is actually part of the philosophy of our magazine, is to explore the uncertainties and what could be out there. So,
interesting. I mean, the couple things you said there I'd like to touch on. The part you brought up about, around the early 70s and us having a delegation that went to China and kind of opening up some diplomacy there. Sometimes a phrase associated with that is ping pong diplomacy, because actually table tennis was one of the things that featured in that. I've read a little bit around that too, and people like David Eisenberg and Ted Kapchuk were influenced by that, and I've read some of the things that they've had to say about that, and I agree with you. That did line up with sort of the human potential movement in the 70s in the United States, and some people latched onto those ideas. So yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, Mark Manson also wrote about that in his book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. So that's what he wrote in part of one of his chapters there that kind of read. He touched on some of the stuff that kind of is pretty congruent with that culture from the 60s and 70s about entitlement, about my opinion is as good as yours, so I can make it whatever I want. So
this is the book you're reading right now, because I saw you posted about it last night, and one of my friends reposted your link. Go ahead and say exactly what you're reading. If you want to, you can censor yourself or not, but tell us exactly what you're reading.
Well, I don't have the book with me right now. It's not with me, but it's simply, are we talking about like a passage I read in a book, or are we talking about just the title of the book?
I want to say what the book is. If you want, I can go to your post and look it up.
Yeah. I've only wrote like 2 passages off of there, but I thought it was interesting. I thought we were going to share it.
All right,
it kind of reflects on.
I want to say what you're reading. So you're reading here. It is. You're reading The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck: A Counterintuitive Approach to Living a Good Life, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It kind of hits a spot on some of the stuff that even I've experienced when I was a naive and younger trainer back in the early and mid 2000s. My parents were realists, and they really give me a dose of reality. They love to rain on my freaking parade, and I really hated them for it. Hated, past tense. Now, looking back at what they did versus now, I'm glad they rained on my parade a lot, because I was pretty delusional. I was a delusional 26-year-old personal trainer who thinks that I can fix everybody's posture and with movement screens and, with a plumb line and give them some exercises to do. 6 weeks later, you're cured. Now let's go do some squats and deadlifts because you got now a perfect posture. I'm like, oh gosh. I want to slap myself sometimes, but
well, the title of the book you're reading, kind of gets at an interesting tension in massage therapy in the United States and maybe elsewhere. Which is tension
elsewhere as well.
This tension between, people's opinions and positions, or just accepting people's ideas and positions. And, there's value in each of those, but it's kind of, where do we set the balance? It seems to me.
That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. That's one of the mysteries of the universe.
So what are your goals? What are your goals for Massage and Fitness Magazine going forward?
I would like our magazine to be, looking at where we're heading in terms of content, I like to keep it consistent the way it is, the way kind of like a blend of journalistic style versus and blogging as well, kind of like a blend of the two. Don't want to be too dry, yet don't want to be too unprofessional sounding. So it sounds like someone's just started up a blog recently. But in long-term goals, I would like to use the magazine as a door for massage therapists who are interested in science, interested in critical reasoning, and trying to improve themselves and what they know and what they do with their hands. It's simply just a gateway to something deeper. It's like, do you want to take the blue pill or the red pill? That kind of scenario. And
so you want to expose more people in the profession to a reality-based perspective.
Or a science-based perspective, yes. And a reality-based would be a very good one as well. I'm not even sure how I can use that in everyday dialogue. What else? That's pretty much it. So that's pretty much why this magazine existed, because there's nothing like this that I can see elsewhere. I'm very candid and do my best to give the best information possible via storytelling and some humor and some interactive online. And with an online magazine, you can actually watch videos, you can actually have links to podcasts and all kinds of things that you don't get with a print magazine. Now,
yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. In the current issue, I was flicking through it and unexpectedly saw there's a link to a video of me, which made me laugh. But I mean, it's
with the long brown hair, like 10 feet long, right? Yeah.
I'm badly needing a haircut in that video. But that was back in the day. That was back in the day when I was working hard to be accepted in the luxuriant flowing hair club for scientists, which I was.
Nice.
Which is a real thing. In case anyone thinks I'm making a joke, that is a real thing.
You do look like a hippie, basically. You do.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's too long. It's not a good look. Well, so you've said what some of your goals are, and I just want to take a moment to say what one of my goals here is. There's the Nick laugh. Nick, you're not drinking, are you?
This is just Tim Hortons coffee in a mug. Okay. So,
all right, because we know what happens. Anyone who's read my blog knows what happens.
Some of them who hang out with me this weekend actually know what happened. So
I am so proud of that blog post, Nick.
Good for you.
I am so pleased with it. Well, you've said what some of your goals are for the magazine, and I just want to take a moment to endorse what you're doing. Nick didn't put me up to this. I don't stand to gain anything from this. I just want people to know that I think what you're doing with Massage and Fitness Magazine is really needed and really valuable. And I want to encourage more, especially US massage therapists, but massage therapists everywhere, to subscribe to your magazine and support it and expose themselves to some things that are not normally a part of the dialogue in this profession, because I think this is one of the tools that has the potential to move dialogue and the profession forward. So massagefitnessmag.com, folks, I want you to go check it out, read what Nick's doing, buy an issue, buy a subscription, get in there. This is one of the most innovative things that is happening in massage therapy, I think. You ready for a lightning round? And then I'll let you get back to hanging out with Jamie Johnston at his clinic there in Victoria.
Lightning round, yeah, whatever that is. Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Right.
That's kind of.
Are you?
Make some more coffee. I need a cup of coffee.
Yeah, take
some coffee.
Yeah, have a sip of coffee, and we're ready for the lightning round. All right. So I got 5 questions.
Yeah, go for it.
I want 5 questions for you. I want you just to answer them. All right. First question. First question. United States or Canada?
Canada. Why?
All right. Next question. There is no explanation. This is a lightning round. Next question.
Okay.
Who is the best Facebook forum warrior in all of massage therapy?
Alice Andino.
Yeah, I knew that's what you would say. All right. Next question. Next question. Pho or tacos?
Dollar or tacos?
Pho. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong.
Pho.
All right. Pho.
Pho. Tacos. Tacos all the way, homie. Yeah.
Oh, your answer's tacos. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Theory or data?
Data. Okay.
All right. That's the wrong answer, but I'll let it go. All right. Last question. Why should people subscribe to Massage and Fitness Magazine?
Well, if they really want to explore, so there's a lot of topics around the science of pain and touch in relation to massage therapy and exercise, and people want to find out why, so what they do, and they really curious about the how and the why of what they do and how that affects their patients or clients. And this is probably one of the best resources there is so far. And we're always keeping ourselves up to date, and we try to make the transition of science communication fun and entertaining as well. And there's also, and we don't bullshit, basically. We toss bullshit out the window. So that's what we do. We talk about bullshit. That's all it is.
That should be the subtitle under the main title. Like, you know how the Washington Post
think it should.
says, democracy dies in darkness? Yours should be, we throw bullshit out the window.
It is, because that's number one mantra, is that we don't talk about bullshit, nor do we promote it. The fact is that, it's possible that even some of the stuff that I've been writing, in both on the magazine and also as a freelancer to other newspapers and stuff, that could be outdated. The difference is that being outdated is different than spreading BS, because if something's outdated, at least that's still grounded in reality. Just like Ronald Melzack and Patrick Wall's theory on gate control theory of pain in 1960s, it was, by today's standard, be considered outdated. But at least but it was based on a lot of different theories before that, and the modern theory of pain, the BPS model framework of pain, is based on, have some roots going back to the gate theory of pain. So that's kind of how I see it in terms of how myself and our team of contributors write about the science of pain, touch, and exercise.
Yeah, and what you're talking about there is keep it real. I mean, it's really interesting what you just said there, because what you're talking about is you're talking about the progressive nature of science. And I had a conversation with some folks just a few weeks ago, in which one of the people I was speaking with expressed the opinion that, science is always changing. And what he was saying is, you never know what science is going to say next. But the part he was missing is that it's changing in a progressive direction. Once we have better information, that gets built on to what we had before, or it rejects what we had before. It's not just willy-nilly, like, a flag in the wind. It's progressive, like you just described. The BPS model replaces the gate control theory model because it's a better model. And this is what you're trying to do with your project. You're trying to be consistent with science, and you're trying to be progressive, not just throwing everything into the magazine just because this is gonna satisfy some readers, and this is gonna satisfy some other readers.
It's not going to satisfy everybody. Just like not every publication in the world is going to satisfy everybody. I love rap music. I mean, I love R&B, and I'm probably not going to listen to bluegrass country very much. So, and vice versa. So, yeah.
So you're not writing for everybody. You've got a mission, and the people are on board with that.
I try. Yeah, I try, but I'm pretty happy to see that there's a lot of massage therapists in the U.S. who are actually really interested in this. There's a growing number of them, and there's a few of them who are at it's like a confession time. Oh, I used to believe in this, and now and now I'm more into this the reality side. You got to face reality. You got to face your fears. You got to face your weaknesses. Is how you can progress. Yeah.
Nice. Well, let's leave it there. So again, I want to encourage people to check out Nick's project, massagefitnessmag.com. And Nick, thanks for joining us today. And I will let you get back to enjoying the wonderland that is Canada.
Wonderful. Well, Canada so far has not disappointed me so far. I might even move up here. Who knows?
I might join you. I like it there.
Right.
All right, so that's going to end the broadcast. Stick around, Nick. You and I might chat a bit. So thank you for joining us, viewers, and we will see you next time.
Awesome. Thanks, dude.